everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and today's video is sponsored by Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club is terrific. It solves a problem. What is that problem? It's the problem of when I first went into a store to get replacement cartridges for my razor, and they were $30. And it knocked me over, but I still had to buy them. And that really annoyed me, so I ended up using the razors longer than I should have. So now I'm shaving with dull razors just to try to get my money's worth. With Dollar Shave Club, you don't have to do that. For a limited time, new members can get Dollar Shave Club's Shit Shower and Shave Starter Set for only $5. It comes with 3 trial-size versions of their popular shave butter, body wash, and One Wipe Charlie's butt wipes. You'll also receive their executive razor, which includes a premium weighty handle and a full cassette of cartridges. After the first box, replacement cartridges are sent to you for only a few bucks a month. This offer is exclusively available at dollarshaveclub.com/superspeedersRob. That's dollarshaveclub.com/superspeedersRob. Today, Dollar Shave Club's premium products have you covered from your face cheeks to your butt cheeks. Traction. Traction. Don't tell me you never wanted to do that. What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti. You're going to leave that in, I know you will. What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and today we're going to talk about the most collectible / expensive, valuable car in the world. And what is that? You're thinking some sort of Ferrari or something? No, it's not. You're wrong. It's a car that goes against everything that I stand for, but this is why it's going to be the most expensive car in the world. It's a McLaren F1, yellow, that was just, I guess, not uncovered because somebody knew they had it. It was delivered new, and the guy literally parked it. He did not do a damn thing. He did not take off any of the packaging tape. He did not open anything. He doesn't even know what his seats look like. That's ridiculous. The guy bought a car for, let's just call it $1 million, or what, I think that's what it was at the time, 700, 800, spent a lot of money 30 years ago and literally time capsuled the damn thing. He stuck it somewhere where it was now in a climate-controlled garage, and it's a good bet it paid off because there was only 64 McLaren F1s ever made, and this one has 249 kilometers on it, which means it has only the delivery miles that were put on by the factory test drivers. The car has never been driven by the guy who bought it, which, to be fair, I get it. Like, I get the, like, this is a good gamble, like, it's a worthwhile attempt to make money, but if you have the money to park $1 million for 30 years, why would you? Like, why wouldn't you? Like, you have to, you could put $1 million in different investments and make as much, if not more, or maybe not, but like, whatever it is, there's a more logical path to using your money to see a return. This guy parked a car, which means he's probably a car guy, and he's never even seen the seats. Like, the only seat that's uncovered is the driver's seat. All the other leather in the car could be the wrong color for all he knows. I know it's not, but like, he's never even unpackaged it, which is really weird. So why is that going to be the most expensive car of all time? Well, because it's a brand new McLaren F1, and the McLaren F1 is the epitome of performance 2 generations before it belonged there. And it's the only other car that was sort of as notable was the original Ford GT, the GT40, the 40-inch like race car that came onto the scene in the 60s. Now, why is that going to be worth more than these other cars, the collectible Ferrari Daytonas and you name it? Because it's not about the history of this car. This car is it's the #1 like car that people of my generation think about. And my generation, granted, you're talking now 40, 50, $100 million this car may be worth or may sell at auction. This car is going to appeal to the next generation. It's the same reason that the older cars don't really, the older cars have a value if they are known quantities. So these 69 Camaros will always be collectible. They may not drive up in price. They may not be worth so much because younger guys are like, we didn't experience that as kids. We know about them. We're like, oh yeah, I guess it would be cool to have one. But then you drive it and you're like, well, okay, it's not really a great car to drive. So the market on those will be there sort of forever for intrinsic cool value. The cool cars from the 40s, 50s, or whatever, 50s, 60s, 70s will always have some sort of value. But the regular cars from the 50s, 60s, 70s, nobody gives a shit about them. They're all going to be crushed. Because at a certain point in time, every kid that inherits a car that his dad cared about, like, oh, this is my baby, my dad cared about it and he gave it to me, so it's going to leak on the floor. You're never going to want to drive it. When you drive it, it's going to break down. And there's just no market for it. So the market on those is going down steadily. Because right now, for me to buy a car that I grew up liking, the BMW, the NSX, the Supra. I mean, I bought cars that I liked, the 360s. I bought cars that I liked when I was a kid. But my kids aren't going to give a shit about those cars unless they look cool. Like, but the BMW is a perfect example of something that doesn't necessarily look cool, doesn't outperform anything. It's just a good value for a car. So Jimbo doesn't get it. Jimbo doesn't say, like, why do people like that car? Why does it have a value? Why does it go up? Why is it stable? It's just a BMW Z3M. And that's sort of the situation you're going to run into with the older cars. And that's going to negatively impact the collectible, the highly collectible Ferraris that are now selling for crazy money to the guys that used to grow up watching them race. Everyone else is like, yeah, I get it, it's expensive, but why is it expensive? And when you get into that like hyper rich man's game, the guy who's like, yeah, I'll spend $30 million in a car, the logic doesn't really follow. It's more of like an art thing where the transactional nature is you just know you have to pay more than the previous guy because you want to get in that line because somebody will pay more than you. It's not like you can look up a buyer's guide and it's like, oh yeah, if you have a Ferrari Daytona, it's worth 40 million bucks. It's just the way it is. So this McLaren, time capsule, cool. I don't like it. I don't like the idea that people do it, but I see why it happens. And this was a gamble that probably is going to pay off for this guy. And then the big kicker is, does he really need the money? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, yes, rich people can make a lot of money doing stuff that other people probably wouldn't do, but if you're that rich, why wouldn't you just enjoy it to begin with? Those are my thoughts. Let's keep an eye on that car. Yellow McLaren F1, 249 kilometers on it. And that is really the most expensive car I see over the next 20 or 30 years that people are going to have. Now, you could do that. There's people, and it probably more frequently now, people getting like LaFerrari Puertas and parking them and not driving them and doing the same sort of thing. But it's going to take a long time before those really go up significantly in value the same way this is. 30 years, long time to stare at a car and not drive it and not even like peek under the seats. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you vehemently disagree, by all means post it. If you agree with me, just give me some thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Catch you next time.